What's up, everybody? Mission Nationwide here. Yeah, something's wrong with the damn button on the camera that I can't even push the button to record and stop record. So I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, so anyway, oops. Sorry about that. I accidentally turned off the map light. For you guys to see me anyways. So anyways, doing some night vlogging. So anyway, today's October 21st, 2015. And right around at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when Marty the Doc went into the future, which is today, in present time of October 21st. Yeah, so anyway, they had to take care of some unfinished business. And so I'll tell you some things that, maybe they got right and some they got wrong. Like, as we all know, about the Cubs being in the World Series, well, they haven't won yet. I'm not even sure they're in there. I mean, to be honest, it's been like a while since I followed baseball. And, of course, the team we got from Miami would be the Marlins, not the Gators. Yeah. And then, another thing we don't got, the hoverboard. So there's some kind of board that they invented that you could go off the ground, but it only works on copper surfaces. It only work on pavement or concrete. And then about those lace-up Nikes, the power laces. Okay, they're talking about in Foot Locker that they're going to release it. So far, they haven't been released. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. And then another thing we don't have is flying cars. And thank goodness we don't have flying cars because it's going to be expensive to operate. And what's going to be, what kind of stuff that use it to, make it fly. What's utilizing it. So, especially there's some bad drivers nowadays, so most likely if they're not paying attention, they might crash in your house. And that's not going to be good. Or crash into a building, and, we can't have another 9/11, especially with an airplane. But with a car, that's even bad. So, another thing we don't have would be, let's see. Okay, when it comes to video phones, we got video chat, like on tablets or smartphones. I mean, we do got that. We got the flat screen TV, of course, and you can watch multiple shows at the same time, just like in Marty's future home. His son was watching TV, multiple screens at once. Well, we don't have some kind of TV thing that goes like, we don't have those kind of goggles that have the TV on. So at least we don't have that, because how the hell are we going to see what we're doing? I'm just getting off work now, so that's why it's dark. I mean, I just went on Capitol Boulevard now, it's just about to go to 440. But, get back to what I was saying. Okay, one of the little guys from the Cafe A's where Marty was showing him how to use that said, "Oh, you mean you have to use your hands?" And the other dude said, "Oh, that's like a baby's toy." Well, anyway, the first dude that said about the hands, it turns out he's not 5 years old now, so he had to be around 32. Because I'm not his name, but I know he's in Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't watch those movies though, but I'm just familiar with the actor. I mean, his face. I don't know his freaking name. But let's see. What's the other thing? Oh, okay. Ronald Reagan was in that little TV of the Cafe A's taking Marty's order. Well, as we all know, back in June of 2004, about the same time I finished my freshman year in high school, he's dead. He passed away. So that's another thing they got wrong in the movie. Because you'll see in the first scene where on the first movie where Doc asked Marty, "Well, who's the president in 1985?" And he said, "Ronald Reagan." And then he said, "Ronald Reagan, the actor?" Well, it is true that he was an actor back in the 50s. And then he became governor of California. And he switched and became president. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying, just in case you guys haven't heard me, because I had to, hammer down big time getting on the 440. Like I said, Ronald Reagan was an actor at the time, back in the 50s, and then became a governor of California, then became president back from 1981 to 1989. So that's one thing they got right, at least. It was true. But, another thing about the movie, Mr. Fusion. We don't have a Mr. Fusion home reactor system. I don't even know how that works. What does it utilize? That I don't know. Okay. Okay. Newspapers. We barely use as much newspapers like we did in the past. And the USA Today logo doesn't look like the one on Back to the Future Part 2. Well, they could have at least made that logo just for today, and then go back to the old logo tomorrow. Another thing they could have used, let's see. Oh, okay, that scene where Griffin and his gang crashed in at the courthouse, through windows and stuff, when Marty was, jumping on that pond. Now, they took the picture, for USA Today, and it turns out it's what we got today, the news drone. So it took the photo and it automatically published it into the newspapers. So at least we got that. Another thing we don't got, let's see. I noticed there's some Ford Pros, and they got some, it's a coupe, but they make them look weird, man. For it to fly, but it just don't look right. I can tell it's a Ford Pro because you can tell from the back, on the tail lights what it looks like in the back. And then, what's another thing? Okay, the scene where the 1985 counterpart of Jennifer was locked in their future home, where Doc was in the window, he's knocking, and he said, press the thumb with the plate to the door. She said, I can't get out, there's no doorknob. Well, at least we don't got that today, I don't want to be using my thumbprint just to open the damn door. What my hands are really dirty, I can't even use it. Same thing if you're going to make transactions, it's like Biff did this cab fare. He has to push his thumb on a plate, to pay his fare. And I think it was over $100 that he had to pay. Here's the deleted scene I was going to tell you about old Biff. Now, he overheard Marty and Doc talking about the sports almanac it had. The sports almanac that Marty bought ran from 1950 to 2000. We don't have that. I wish we do. Maybe they'll save the, these sports almanac publishing companies some money. Just publishing one every 50 years in each century. Well, anyways, he threw it away, and then Biff got a hold of it and got the taxi phone. Well, a lot of people didn't know is that why did Biff look like he was staggering out with the DeLorean, and especially when he broke his stick, and why was he struggling to make it up to that parked car? Why did it look like he had a heart attack? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he went back to 1955 to, obviously get that sports almanac to his younger counterpart, who was 18 at the time. So anyways, now what happened was, once the young Biff got, hold the sports almanac, changed everything in 1985. But after that happened, when Marty and Doc got Jennifer inside the DeLorean, and they get an Einstein rate, when you see Biff struggling. Well, in the deleted scene, just as the DeLorean left, Biff faded right on the street, and then he disappeared. Now I figured out why he disappeared. I read somewhere there's some thrill sheet handbook I got in the DVD when I was watching Part 2. I was wondering what's going on with that. So anyway, what happened that after he changed his pass, he started to disappear from being erased from existence. So somewhere back in the 90s, Moraine, who he married back after he changed everything. He shot, Marty's father, George, and then he married Marty's mother, Moraine. So after that, Moraine shot him sometime around the 90s. I don't know what year, but it was around then. And then, so that's what made Biff disappear like that. Yeah, I sometimes had nightmares about that. I go back to the past and get myself my younger counterparts some ideas of what the event were, and then I come back and beat dead or something. And then, here's another funny scene. Okay, after Marty discovered that the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, he was talking to his old guy, he was telling him the donation for the clock tower. So anyway, the deleted scene, he was talking about the lightning struck the clock tower. He said, lightning struck that building 60 years ago on November 12th, 1955. I always remember that day. You know why? Because this whole quarter tried to throw me another $300 for fixing this car. He was talking about Biff. Biff was like right there. He said, you're living in the past, Harry. Because that was after when Biff crashed in that manure truck on the first film when Marty, was in that skateboard. So anyway, after all that, I guess with Terry, I had somebody to clean all that horse shit out of that car, which stuck. And of course, he had every right to charge him $300 for the job. Because, there's body work involved, which probably wasn't a whole lot. But, the owner of that manure truck, was charging him. So that's why it came up to $300. Now, of course, back then in the 50s, it means a lot of money. It's like you're spending, let's see, $1,300. Oh, shit, I'm running wrong. Thanks, Ethan. Well, anyways, it'll take a little longer. I'll be yarn released, but. So, anyways, in case you're wondering why Doc got sent to 1885 by accident, okay, well, before they traveled back in 1955 to catch up with their younger counterparts and locate the Omnic and destroy it, before they went to 1955, you'll see in the clock display that Doc had inside the center of the DeLorean, the lights are blinking on and off, and then, it says January 1st, 1885, and then, he smacked it with his hand to get to where he needed to go of November 12th, 1955, at around 6 in the morning. So after he smacked that a couple times, he goes to the correct time. So, another crazy thing. Okay. When Marty got the Omnic from the young Biff, he contacted Doc on the walkie-talkie, said to come meet him over at the rooftop of the high school, which he did. So after that, Doc somehow got the wheels tangled up to the string of flags around the billboard side of that subdivision of the United States, where Marty lives at. It was back under construction at the time. But, he somehow got to that rope. And then he yanked it out. And I guess Doc somehow hit his wrist on the time circuit lever, not the shifter, which turned on the time circuits. Did it go back to time? That's what happened to Marty in the first movie. And then, so far he didn't go 88 miles an hour. But, okay, the time when he pulled him away with the rope when Marty's in the hoverboard, getting away from young Biff, gets caught over at the top, which he crashed into the truck again. So they flew over to the subdivision of the United States. And then Marty got dropped off there, went behind the billboard to get the pill, and then get the matchbook that he got from Biff's Pleasure Paradise. So after he burned the Omnic, it changes to Biff's all detailing. And then the newspaper article where George McFly was dead, but honored with a Civic Award of one of his books he published. And then Doc looked at his newspaper article where he claimed that he was legally insane, which he got honored with an award from the city. So anyway, everything worked out fine in their plan, except lightning was getting struck. And then Marty said, well, watch out, you don't want to get struck by lightning. And then, well, he got struck. Well, Doc got struck by lightning. The DeLorean got struck in lightning. So with all that voltage, producing the 1.1 gigawatts, it did something to the time circuits where when the time circuits was on, that's when it sent them to 1885. Disappeared just like that, simultaneously. That's when Doc predicted what's the time, the exact date that Marty's going to stand at after he saw the DeLorean disappear. He had the letter saved up by Western Union. Because after Marty saw what happened, that's when the guy from Western Union, went to Studebaker to deliver the letter in the rain. And then, what the funny thing is, he ran all the way back to Hill Valley by the clock tower when the first Marty went back to 1985. And then he gets Doc's 1955 counterpart getting in his car. And he said, Doc. And yeah. And he said, oh, I thought I sent you back to the future. And he said, you did. I'm back from the future. And he said, great shot. And then he fainted. Well, that was the funniest part of the movie. Yeah. So, I enjoyed the movie so, but I think just upgrade the DVDs to the Blu-rays. Yeah, so, I could go on and on, about, the commentary of how the movies are and stuff. Especially this one, especially if I watched it multiple times. Yeah, so, just showing you that, 2015 is not what everyone expected back in 1985. Even though the movie was made in 1989. But we know what 1955 and 1885 was like.